This information is for educational purposes only, does not constitute legal advice, and does not create an attorney-client relationship. If you need legal assistance about a legal problem, contact an attorney. Welcome to Healthcare Pros Charting Texas, where we break down your healthcare license risks and regulations in just a few minutes. I'm Simone Murphy, and this is your Friday Focus brought to you by Know Your Regulator. What can license holders do, nurses specifically, to avoid this regulatory pitfall? I know that we've touched on it a few times, already this episode. Obviously, don't go live at work, but what are some other maybe not so obvious things that nurses should be aware of?
So I'm going to plug myself just for a minute. I do offer a charting course. Oftentimes you and I both know when we're looking at, now this is a little bit different because we're referencing primarily like a video or something that's out there, but oftentimes it is around a practice. And so what you do or do not document is a big deal. And if you don't document it, then it gets harder to validate, what was done. Now, obviously, with the growing, staffing ratio issues, with us pushed to, taking on more unsafe assignments, of course we do the care first. No one's asking you to chart in real time. That's not a reality. What I'm saying is making sure that you're advocating for yourself and you're not taking on an unsafe assignment. What does that look like in Texas? I'm going to say 217.11(1)(s) is the person making that assignment, which I don't feel is safe. And then T, me accepting the assignment. Are you asking me to violate the Nurse Practice Act? There's a tool I just gave you. Knowing the Nurse Practice Act, our state is very specific, but then you say, are you asking me to violate that? And then they pause. Then you're going to double down and say, you're going to deviate now, a different type of law. Medical malpractice is knowingly and willingly taking on an unsafe assignment. Are you asking us, you and I, and all the leadership, for me to take on an unsafe assignment? Because the definition of medical malpractice is knowingly and willingly taking on an unsafe assignment in a professional, respectful manner. Number 3, in Texas, we do have safe harbor. Now, number 4 is ADO, accept despite objection. Let me be really clear, and you know this as well. ADO, accept despite objection, is a tool used by unions. I know that can be considered a cuss word. I don't have any problems with that tool, whatever that is, but let me just be real clear. That is not safe harbor. And I don't know what that looks like. If the Board of Nursing does not approve that piece of documentation and you accept despite objection, that will be produced in civil, criminal, and possibly Board of Nursing litigation. That is not the same thing as safe harbor, which enacts the peer review process to have your assignment looked at for you. Ideally, then you would leverage the 217.11(1)(s) and T. I just named 2, but there could be other things. If you don't have the education, training, and knowledge, that's another under those 3 sections that I said is a 10-minute read that you could now leverage. Do not take for granted your orientation. Do not take for granted your orientation. It is owed to you. Do not let them make you think that it is not your right to have that. It is. And then I'm going to lean back in on how do I have the education, training, and knowledge? And I am quoting the Board of Nursing. But you see what I mean? In all orientation, even tone, then you would even tone. I did not change my tone. That I don't get respectful, and I'm not going to tell you you're not going to go to evidence-based science. But if you all stand together and you pull that in, and then you're going to lean in. If you all stand united, the Board of Nursing where it does say taking patients.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that nurses have been dealing with for a long time. So those are fantastic tools for people to feel empowered and be able to put their foot
And
down
all I did was quote the
when
board, the
they
rules and
know that things
regulations. I
aren't
didn't quote anything
right.
else.
That wraps
That
up
was
this
it.
Healthcare Pros Charting
was it.
Texas Spotlight. If you'd like more, you can follow Know Your Regulator wherever you listen, and be sure to subscribe to our social media so you can receive those weekly Friday clips just for healthcare professionals.
Know Your Regulator, the podcast that inspires you to engage.